Hey, how's it going, YouTube friends? It's me, your one furry boy. Never back at you again. Feeling a little blue this week. I hope I'm not getting sick again. Let's just put out the good feelings that I'm not and move along. And yes, you're watching The Never Show. The only show with lemon-scented limes, because I thought that's what Everlast was singing when he sang that song. And the only show with a supernatural, super awesome third eye, because I saw it in a movie once.
Laugh!
And it's Wednesday again, my friends. But before we get started, I'd like to thank you all for being my YouTube friends. I know I say this every week, and I mean it because because you are my support group. Through the thick and the thin of it, you are there for me, and I can't thank you enough. I also want to thank you for clicking that subscribe button and that little bell icon and being there for me, because it is part of the YouTube experience, but it's also part of my experience. And with that said, we're just going to shout out the Red Cross. The Bahamas still needs our help. They were ravaged by that horrible hurricane, and there might be another one coming. If you're watching the weather, I do all the time this time of year because it's hurricane season. And I don't know what else I'm going to do. Remember, generosity makes you happy. If you've watched a Chills video, you know about this. So need I say more? And you didn't come here to listen to me talk about a bunch of stuff. You came here for a movie review. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? And today's movie is Monos. M-O-N-O-S. Monos. If I'm pronouncing it right. It is a rated R film. It is an hour and 42 minutes that you will not regret watching. It is a drama and a thriller from director Alejandro Landes, who also did the writing on this, along with Alexis dos Santos, Sofia, Buenaventura, and Moises Arias, along with Julianne Nicholson. I'm not really sure. Nicholson. I'm going to say Nicholson. N-I-C-H. Nicholson. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, let me know. With Julianne Nicholson. And if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong, let me know in the comments, because that's what they're for. I love this movie. It is a coming of age of teenage commandos that go through extreme military training.
And our production companies are Stila Cine, Board Cadre Films, Counter Narrative Films, Dynamo, El Campo, Cine, Film Ivest, La Pacada, Lemming Films, Mutating Cine, Pandando Producciones, Pandana Film Producciones, and Snow Globe Films.
Our distributor here in the good old United States of America. God bless America. Land that I love was Neon, a new name that we haven't heard of before, but we hope to see more from them. TCBG Effects, which is a new name too, which I really liked what they did in this film. Squibs were beautiful. And my thoughts on the film: yes, this is a foreign language film, and I do struggle with reading a bit, but it's not heavily narrative driven where characters talking to each other in long sentences. Even though my Spanish is a bit rusty, I was able to follow what was going on without reading the subtitles too much. This is a coming-of-age film that happens once in a generation. It is beautiful in its grittiness, and these 8 teenagers forced into military service, training as commandos, exercising by day, indulging in kids' games and frivolity at night. It's beautiful. And once you give up the fact that you're never going to really understand what the heck is going on in this perpetual war that they're in, you get invested in the characters, and it's just wonderful. This forced coming of age via war. You see kids change, their whole demeanors change, and the way things happen change out. And at first you're like, oh, they have Dr. Watson and she's, trapped and she's not being treated bad, but things are weird and you don't understand why she's a captive. And then you actually end up rooting for this character. You end up rooting for her because you want her to escape, because the whole world is crumbling around her. And they leave you on this premise that you don't really know what happens. And I mean, if they're leaving this open for a sequel, they've definitely done a good job. But they definitely have an ending that's here. I don't know what else to say. I want to give this movie more justice and I want to be more descriptive, but words escape me. You're just going to have to see it for yourself. There is a scene with a cow where people talk about cows exploding, and it is hilarious. But I digress. It's a 7.5 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes says it's a 92%, which is a certified fresh in my book. 86% of the audience liked it. So I feel it's good, and I feel that these numbers are correct. Mind you, it is a foreign language film, and you're going to have to go to Fandango to watch this with subtitles on. But I think you're going to want to see this. If you're 18 and older, this is the movie that you're going to want to see this weekend. I know there's a lot of new movies coming out, but this is one that you're going to not want to pass up on, just because it's going to stick with you. This is the Apocalypse Now, Lord of the Flies of my generation for your generation. I do want to see what CinemaSins thinks, but this is a foreign language film, and they don't do any foreign language films that I'm aware of. So here's to hoping, but I really hope they do, because I really like this film, even though it is a bit confusing and you never really know what exactly is going on. But hey, that's part of the mystique of this film. For those of you who fast forward to this, if this does come to TV, I don't think it's going to come to English TV. So I'm going to probably say no on a TV watch, because it is a Fandango thing and you can put it on your smart TV. Yeah, if I had a smart TV, I'd watch it on smart TV kind of thing. Because it's a foreign language film, I don't think there's going to be a DVD buy with an English dub. But if there is, I probably would buy it. Because it's not in theaters, I can't really give that any rating. But if it was in theaters, I definitely think you should go watch it. Hopefully this may become a Redbox rental. So here's to that in the future, because this is definitely thought-provoking movie that you're going to want to see, as well as visually splendid. So with all that said, if you like what you see in here, make sure you click that like button. It means this video gets shared elsewhere, and more shares mean more people get to see what I do every week, and that makes me happy. And remember, all comments are 100% guaranteed response. I don't need to go into the spiel. You know what to do. And you know I have to ask. I have an Amazon. I have a Patreon. It is not without your donations that keeps this channel afloat. I don't know how I do it without you. You don't realize how little I have to do so much. Thank you for your donations so far. And thank you for supporting my American dream. And with all that said, for a final time, because it's a bit of a running joke, if you want to see more of this nonsense, make sure you click that subscribe button and that little bell icon.
Ring a ding ding.
Ding.
And I will see you all in the next movie review. Bye.